Welcome to Take It or Leave It. This one had to do with cardio and strength training, and it had to do, I believe, with how to essentially lean out and build muscle. Some shit, I don't know.
If you're someone who wants to lose body fat and build muscle, then I'm about to give you a cardio and workout routine that's going to help you do just that. So I'm going to need you to go grab a pen and paper because I'm going to need you to take some notes, babe. So let's start with the lifting first. You're going to want to lift 3 to 4 times a week. So if you choose 3 days, here's what your week's going to look like. Monday, lower body. Wednesday, upper body. And Friday, full body.
First of all, love this.
Good.
What are you laughing at?
Good.
Why are you laughing?
No, go ahead.
Talk your shit, girl.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I thought you were going to say that that's a bunch of shit. Why would you do a whole day of one part versus another? It would make more sense to work out all of your body parts, but emphasis on certain body parts and then rotating through the week of different focuses.
I do tend at 3 days a week to program lower upper full for my more consistent clients, because getting that lower and upper specific day, typically I can actually get a little more weekly volume in there for them. But for more beginner clients or clients that I just know aren't going to be as consistent, I'll do 3 times a week at full body, because then I know that I'm not going to hammer them with a bunch of lower body volume, a bunch of upper body volume, or if they miss a day, they're still hitting muscles twice a week. So I can cover for the ideal muscular frequency by doing full body.
And if you choose 4 times a week, here's what your week's gonna look like. Monday, lower body. Tuesday, upper body. Thursday, lower body again. Friday, upper body again. And we ain't gonna be focusing on low weight for high reps. No, fuck all of that. We're gonna be going for a rep range of 6 to 8. And you're gonna need to be lifting as heavy as you possibly can, darling.
Agreed. Fuck all of that. Every once in a while, sure, but we want muscular tension, and that comes from resistance. So use some heavy ass weights. Awesome advice. Like, most people don't spend a lot of time in the 6 to 8 rep range, or even below that in that 3 to 5 rep range, which I think is also really, really valuable, especially when you want to focus on building raw strength, which you should for at least a portion of your programming.
Why not do high reps though?
Part of it is time efficiency. So our primary goal is to get close to failure, whether that's your form is going to break down type failure or your muscle is not going to be able to lift the load type of failure. And you can do that at 6, 12, 30 reps. And so as long as we're hitting that proximity failure, that's going to be one of the biggest drivers of success. But if I can do that in 6 reps, why would I do 30? And by doing 6 reps, I'm going to put the muscle under more load, which is going to create a bigger response and a bigger stimulus, because I'm using more resistance. So I think there's far more value in sticking to those lower rep ranges and finding that proximity to failure than doing a bunch of reps.
Now for the cardio. You want to aim for a daily step count of around 10k steps a day. If you can hit that, fucking amazing. If not, it's not that deep.
She's right. It's not that deep. 10k is a pretty good chunk of steps. But it's amazing. You know, I think that consistent daily movement is very, very underrated for losing weight, but especially maintaining weight loss. One of the biggest keys for maintaining weight loss is roughly an hour of activity a day, and that doesn't have to be a strenuous workout. It should be some days, but it can be a walk. It's just some type of movement for roughly an hour a day.
Is it enough to do time slots of physical walking or something, like 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, multiple times a day, less times a day?
It is slightly more optimal to split those walks up throughout the day so that you're getting consistent movement throughout the day, as opposed to going for one walk of 10,000 steps and then you sit on the couch the rest of the day. That's not going to be ideal, because there's still a lot of sedentary time, but ultimately we just really want to hit 10k steps or whatever your step goal is. So even if a big chunk of that does come in one walk, that's okay.
And on top of that, do 2 to 3 30-minute low-intensity cardio sessions per week. This could be the Stairmaster, this could be the bike, this could be the rowing machine, whatever tickles your fancy. Do this, and I promise you will see results.
Yeah, low-intensity cardio, phenomenal. She mentions 30 minutes. In an ideal world, it'd be even a little bit longer. I do about 45 minutes when I do it, because the first 10 to 15 minutes of that workout, your heart rate isn't going to be high enough to get the most optimal benefits, but we're still moving, we're still getting great cardio in. And so really it's just doing something, and 30 minutes is a great place to start for that low intensity cardio.
So the first 10 to 15 minutes, you're trying to get your heart rate up there, but then after that, that's where you want to be within your heart rate. So 30 minutes past the warm up part of it.
Yeah, pretty much, because again, that zone 2 is going to be more than just even a brisk walk. Which is most ideal. Again, it doesn't have to be that serious. We just want to do some type of low intensity workout that gets your heart rate up, but it's still something you feel like you can do for a really long time. And so if we're hitting that, then we're doing a great job. But getting into that zone 2 and the place that your heart is elevated to gives you more benefits, because it is an intensity that is a little bit more than just what you would get on your walk, and that's going to allow you to develop your cardio even more.
Let me just say this in a way to see if I'm understanding correctly. You want to choose an activity that you can essentially do for 45 minutes straight without skipping a beat. So the pace should be slow enough that you're able to do it for 45 minutes and not be exhausted, because that's not the goal here. It's not to be, breathing heavy. It's just to be steadily, working and working, not saying that you're not going to be tired after it, but you shouldn't be exhausted by any means. So no matter what you choose, whether that's a bike, whether that's a treadmill, whether that's stairs.
100%. Nailed it. I think we can boil it down to what you said, where it's going to be low intensity. It's going to be something that you feel like you can do for hours and hours and hours. Like if I put a gun in your head and I was like, you're going to keep doing this, you'd be like, well, that sucks, but I can do this for as long as I need to stay alive. Like, you should be able to do it for a really long amount of time, but it's something that is more than where your heart rate would be if you were going on a brisk walk.
Take it or leave it.
100% take it. Give me that shit. Great advice on the strength training. I like the way that she organized the 3 and 4 week splits. I like that she's focusing on lifting heavy. I like the rep range of 6 to 8. So the strength training was phenomenal. Cardio advice, those steps again are so important, and the low intensity cardio is a huge piece of the cardiovascular bucket. So take it all day.
Okay, bye.
Deuces.